Pierre Balmain was the first designer to make Paris and the world dream again after the horrors of World War II. Still today, his house pursues this mission to wow the world despite the crisis.
Franchement, après ça, on fait péter champagne.
Balmain is independent, the team small and united around its very young designer, Olivier Rousteing. This 28-year-old is a ball of energy and ideas. New generation, new way to make fashion.
I think it's probably the best job and the worst job. Big and small. Big shoulders, small skirts.
Rihanna is a huge fan and meant to be attending the show. That is, if all goes to plan.
Il y a tout qui joue contre moi.
How does a young designer unexpectedly take over at an old French fashion house, the epitome of chic and extravagance, bring with him old atelier hands and adulating interns, and survive the pressure to stun the crowds? This is the Balmain style. From 1939 to 1945, Pierre Balmain spent the war working at Lucien Lelon with fellow stylist Christian Dior. There's a newsreel of their models on the Champs-Élysées near the movie theater reserved for German soldiers.
Deux ensembles plus habillés pour l'après-midi.
Fashions had to adapt to the day. Close-fitting due to fabric restrictions, sporty cuts as women had to cycle.
Pour le vélo, un ensemble de lainage.
And then came the liberation. Pierre Balmain heard the occupiers had just moved out of 44 Rue François 1er. On a whim, he decided to strike out on his own and base his label there. When he left Lucien Lelon, Dior burst into tears. It was the end of their friendship. Dior would wait a few years before daring to go solo. Balmain was the first to realize, despite the hard times in Paris, that the capital was party, 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 party. The stock exchange picked up, time to dance. The economy got going again, time to celebrate.
Cette charmante jeune femme compte parmi les jeunes femmes de Paris qui n'ont rien à se mettre.
In 1945, Paris couldn't believe it hadn't been destroyed. People were still traumatized by the war, but the end of hostilities led to the most euphoric period of the century. Balmain's first show was held in October 1945. He designed quickly and created fashions women wanted, the exact opposite of the war years. Writer Gertrude Stein attended and wrote about the event in Vogue. The Duchess of Windsor ordered right away. Cinched waists, slender lines, belle dresses for the wealthy women, refined all the way down to her amazing umbrella handle.
Les accessoires sont de plus en plus recherchés.
From the start, the Balmain wardrobe was made for the day, but above all, for the evening. Ample volumes, newfound opulence, frills, lightness, town suits, afternoon dresses, but above all, cocktail dresses, negligés for intimate dinners, gowns for dinner parties, clothes for ceremonies, and country casuals. And when the Musée Galliera held a retrospective of these clothes, only previously seen in black and white, everyone realized how crazily colorful they were. Balmain was even known for having his furs dyed in bright colors, a tradition taken up by Olivier Rousteing.
La création de la jolie madame, cet esprit, cette silhouette, cette femme qui l'a apporté à la couture française, c'est quelque chose que je vais toujours garder en tête, mais à ma façon, avec ma génération, avec mes idées. La jolie madame, c'était une silhouette très structurée, très féminine, avec des basques. On marquait les hanches, on serrait la taille, on exagérait un petit peu les épaules. Et à côté de ça, la jolie madame avait une longueur, comme aujourd'hui dans ma collection, une longueur mi-mollet.
The whole world spied on Balmain. He was so successful that 2 years later he launched his first perfume. Pierre Balmain dressed the stars, regal Katharine Hepburn and Ingrid Bergman, the Italian actress and Sophia Loren, but also Josephine Baker in totally extravagant gear, and Brigitte Bardot in a petal wedding dress for a movie. In 1955, he made the model of a young contestant in the prestigious wool design competition, Karl Lagerfeld, who then worked as his assistant for several years. In the decades that followed, Balmain became known as the ornamental couturier.
Pierre Balmain, vous qui êtes le couturier des ambassadrices.
Certaines robes du soir sont brodées très richement, bien que jamais avec ostentation.
On June 29, 1982,
Pierre Balmain est mort, il était âgé de 68 ans.
Pierre Balmain worked right up to the end. Cancer-ridden, he carried on designing in his hospital bed. A month after he died, the house's couture show was held. The ateliers executed his designs, but as the master had no time to decide on the fabrics, the models were left white like blank canvases. The emotion was great, and the collection won the Golden Thimble, the greatest fashion award at the time. Eric
What makes me different? being black in a world of fashion where black color is not so obvious. This at the beginning has been really like part of my big difference and my age as well. Before I was the Balmain babe and now Balmain is my baby, you know. I worked in this office now I think 6 months, but what is really interesting with this building is that we regrouped everything in one place. I'm on the 6th floor, on the top floor, and it's in a way like I can check everything. I'm obsessed with flamboyance and couture and richness, and I think my office is definitely that. In all my books, I think one that is really important is the Michael Jackson books. I mean, Michael Jackson was definitely the beginning of my interest for the pop culture. I mean, my Bible is my Balmain book. It can be a French old brand, but it's still connected to young generation. Next up, H&M Balmain Nation.
Do you fight for glory? Or do you fight to survive? Do you fight for injustice? Do you fight to be heard? Fight to be seen? Fight for each other? It's your choice if you get back up or not. It's your choice how long it takes. Will you ask for help? Fighting is the same in every language.
You know, I started my Balmain army because I understood that my girls are more than models, they are soldiers. They are women that actually, when they are on my show, they are not just models, you know, they are not hangers. They are girls that actually express something that is stronger than the clothes.
Olivier stands for